What's up, guys? I'm Matt with Tier 1 Transmissions. I'm the owner. I'm going to bring you over here to show you our race truck and basically our testing platform for beating the crap out of our 68 RFE transmissions. Now, stage one is basically where we're at. Is we have an engine, a 6.7 Cummins. It's a roughly 1,000 horsepower to start testing. After we get done with that, we're going to move into phase two, which is going to take us up to 1,700 horsepower, and we're going to put an even badder 68 behind that. I'm going to show you a little bit of the truck, and then I'm going to take you through that transmission to show you why our comp can stand up to that type of horsepower. Just to give you a quick rundown of the race truck, is we just have a 6.7 Cummins engine in this. Has a big S480 turbocharger on it, just ran as a single. It has an 80mm inducer, has the 96 turbine on it with the 115 housing. That turbo's been working great for us, makes about 55 pounds of boost, has a good 1-to-1 ratio with back pressure. The next area we move into is going to be the stainless diesel manifold. That's a T6 foot on it, keeps great exhaust back pressure, and then we have it all mounted to the side of the block with the stainless bulk kit on it. It's just a stock 6.7 engine, has head studs on it. Nothing else is done on it besides that, except for a custom valve cover up top here that has 68 valve body engraving into the top of the valve cover. One off, had that done here at the shop. The next area we'll move into will be the injectors. We have 128% over industrial injection injectors in this one right now. And then it has a Dynamite diesel CP3 on the side of it. Maintains about 28,000 PSI of rail pressure when running full tilt down the track. We have custom intercooler piping that runs all the way up front here into a Spearco intercooler. And then the pipe coming up into the engine is just a custom aluminum pipe, vibrant flanges, and then runs into a GDP intake horn. The whole idea behind doing this truck was to make something that we could just go beat the crap out of a 68 in and get some real world results in it. So when we did that, we have our stage 2 68 in it that's holding over 1,000 horsepower, and it's been holding up just fine. The next stage though is going to be going to stage 2, which is we're going to upgrade the engine and do approximately 1,700 to 2,000 horsepower, and then we're going to go into our comp 68 unit to be able to put that power to the ground and continue beating the crap out of these transmissions. So now that we talked about that 68 comp unit, what I'm going to do is take you guys inside the shop with our builder, and I'm going to show you why that comp unit is one of the best on the market. I'm going to show you guys our comp 68 build, but first here's our builder Brandon. He does all of our 68 builds here in-house.
How's it going, guys? My name's Brandon here at Tier 1 Transmissions. Like Matt said earlier, we're going to go over the build of a comp 68. We do here in-house, everything's here in-house, but we're going to do a quick rundown of everything we put in this and why it works as well as it does, and kind of show you that we run exactly what we build. So we're going to go over some of the things that make our comp unit today and what gives it the holding capability that it actually has. Starting on our low reverse drum over here, HD roller sprag is a RevMax unit. We prefer to use these on our big builds. As you can see, this is quite a bit different than the factory style. We stick with a standard clutch count in here, low reverse. We don't see any issues with that. Pretty straightforward on the low reverse side of things. On the output side of here, we have our welded output planets. TIG welded all the way around. These will tend to push out, especially under higher horsepower, higher abuse applications, so that's easy for us. It's a no-brainer. New bearings throughout all that stuff as well. Obviously, you'll see that through the rest of this unit. We're gonna get into our input drum here. Input drum is kind of the heart of the hard parts outside of the valve body. So you have our RevMax ZeroFlex outer drum, RevMax inner, billet steel hub, and then in here, we have our standard 10 count underdrive clutches, which works just fine. Snap ring retainer to keep this balance piston snap ring from coming off. Miraging billet input shaft, so nice, sturdy, strong for our high horsepower comp builds. Factory underdrive shaft, nothing you can do about that. They're usually fine. Nobody makes anything for it yet. Imagine we start seeing failure, somebody will do something about it. The big thing to look for in our input drum here is the overdrive clutches. This drum actually takes a 20 count overdrive stack out which is up from 12 factory. So you gotta think you're probably about an 80%, I'm not a mathematician, but an 80% increase in holding capacity there, which is huge. Billet fourth hub, also this is a RevMax piece as well. The factory units will break right in these holes here, in these oiling holes, and takes out the whole trans. So under heavy power, heavy foot applications, it's necessary to have these upgraded. And then here, just simply reverse setup, no big deal there. We don't use that a whole lot. They tend to last just well. Another big item here is our billet center support. So we upgrade our clutch count here to a 5 count. And then with our 2C clutch pack right behind it, we go to a 5 count on these. Again, anytime you can increase friction area, you're gonna have a significant amount more holding power in there. Coming over to our pump, of our billet front pump half, again, another RevMax piece. They make some really nice stuff. We like to use their stuff. They're really good to work with. They build quality parts. This is Zero Flex, so as you can see, this is quite a bit thicker. This is the valve side, but the factory pump side or gear side is built identical to this. So there's a lot of room for flex and just adding rigidity here.
Now that we've built our comp transmission unit and we have all the main parts assembled into the case, I'm gonna go into some of the stuff we do with the valve body. The first place we start on all of our valve bodies is to flat sand it, so that way you don't have any cross leaks that can occur. The second place is we add more bolts into the accumulator plate cover area, 3 more to be exact, so that way that cover cannot blow off. And then after that, on the upper casting, we machine the SSV so that way we can put a new one in it. The secondary place is we use a bonded separator plate that allows us to increase the line pressure and then also fight cross leaks. After we get that done, we move into our billet lower channel plate, which gets rid of any of the flex that the factory cast one allows, and plus some of the factory areas that can leak on that plate. The next place we move into is the SSV. Basically, we replace this. This gets rid of the dreaded P0871 code that can result with the factory valve body or destroy your transmission. We have the accumulator covered. So we have the 3 accumulator bolt holes right here that keeps the accumulators from blowing out the side of the valve body and then causing a failure inside your transmission. Here are the billet aluminum accumulators. As you can see, they add in an additional sealing ring in these so that way you don't have any leaks occurring in that. And then last but not least is going to be our factory Mopar OEM solenoid that goes on to every single 68 valve body that we build here. On all of our 68 valve bodies, we use a brand new directly from Chrysler. We don't use any reman or any rebuilt solenoids in our valve bodies. So now that we're done with the valve body area, we're going to come over to the torque converter. So what we have here is a RevMax Stage 5 triple disc converter. Has a billet lockup clutch, which when it goes into lockup is going to make sure that that power is transmitted to the ground. After that, it has a billet stator, and then the pump and turbine section is all furnace sprays from RevMax to provide more efficiency when you're driving this truck outside of lockup and to put that power to the ground as well. So hopefully that helps you guys better understand what we put into our comp unit. We search the market for the best parts that are available, and then we put our own twist on this by having attention to detail, dynoing at multiple different levels, and QC inspections to make sure that what we provide is top notch. And then to end it all, we test this all out, everything we test in all of our race trucks to make sure you're getting the best product on the market. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this all thrown together here with my builder, and then we're gonna go put this thing in the truck and beat the crap out of it. If you guys have any questions or anything like that at all, call, email, reach out, show up to the shop, and we'll do our best to explain everything we do with these in better detail.